we were just talking about on air, obviously everything going on right now with the pandemic, and it's hitting everyone differently. You know, we've seen college football come back. Obviously, as we're talking right now, there are NFL games on, so that's the positive news. But you're a guy we were just talking about off air. For the state of North Carolina, at least for where you're at Millbrook High School, things have been moved to the spring. You're obviously a class of 2021 commit. You're going to early enroll at South Carolina, like you just told me. Just talk about, though, you know, everything kind of fell apart, I guess you could say, in March, and it's been crazy. And I think it's been a good test as far as, you know, guys handling adversity. I'm sure that's something Muschamp and your high school coaches have talked to you about, just handling adversity, control what you can control, stuff like that. But what have you been doing specifically to stay ready, to keep yourself sharp, obviously, for when you do get to Carolina in January?
You know, really just, you know, watching film, breaking down a lot of film from I unfortunately did not play this past season. So I've been watching a lot of film from my sophomore year, you know, breaking it down, just making sure, you know, I'm becoming a better player each and every day. You know, I work out, you know, two to three times a day, each and every day. Just, you know, trying to continue to get better. You know, I've stayed in great contact with, you know, a lot of the other commits in the class. You know, we're just building a great relationship with each other. You know, we plan to later this month get down to campus, just to, you know, I know the NCAA, technically we're not allowed to be on campus or not allowed to be around the kind of football side of things and everything, but, you know, we're just going to go down there just as a group, just to, you know, start building that chemistry and getting to know each other more and more.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because I know this, you know, the pandemic has affected everyone in some different type of way, whether it be for sports or just economically or whatever. But especially, I think, you know, for you, and like you said, for your classmates, for the 2021 class, and just any recruit right now in general. I mean, the recruiting process is already so hectic. And then to throw a curveball like this with the pandemic and, like you said, losing your season, and it just, you know, especially, you know, I really do feel for the guys who are kind of like those bigger guys who really could have used that season, used that film. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know guys like that. But, you know, just as far as, you know, the recruiting process as a whole, because you picked South Carolina over a number of other schools, how has it affected the recruiting process for you at all? I mean, again, you were a guy who committed a little bit while back, so I'm sure, thankfully, you probably got it out of the way before everything went haywire. But, I mean, what has that recruiting process, again, been like for you, something that's so hectic, and then you throw this whole pandemic thing on top of it?
I mean, fortunately, I was able to get to South Carolina prior to the pandemic and quarantine and everything. So, you know, I was able to get down there and watch a couple practices, you know, talk to coaches, go over how they're going to, you know, how they're going to use me in their defensive scheme. I was able to hang out with a couple of players, kind of get to know them, just kind of get a feel for, you know, Coach Muschamp and the Gamecock football organization. You know, and after that, after being there for a couple of practices, you know, the decision was really easy for me. I know I don't know where else I want to be except for South Carolina. As far as how the pandemic has affected my recruiting, you know, I would have liked to been in South Carolina a lot more over the past couple months. I unfortunately haven't gotten my official visit along with all the other 2021 commits. So, you know, I'm really just looking forward to possibly getting back to campus and just, you know, being in the city of Columbia.